Go ahead and call our meeting to order. First up tonight, we have a proclamation in honor of Julie Donaldson. Whereas Julie Donaldson, Spiro Donaldson, has dedicated 25 years of exemplary service to the economic development and community building in Jackson County. And whereas her leadership has been instrumental in fostering strong relationships within the town and promoting the growth and prosperity of our community. And whereas Julie Donaldson, Spiro Donaldson, has played a pivotal role in operating the visitor center, offering a welcoming and informative gateway to tens of thousands of people visiting Jackson County each year. And whereas her efforts have significantly contributed to making Jackson County a desirable destination for tourists and a thriving community for its residents. And whereas Spiro Donaldson has been involved in countless endeavors that have enhanced the quality of life and economic well-being of Jackson County over the past quarter century. And whereas her unwavering commitment, exceptional leadership, and tireless dedication have left an indelible mark on the community and its people. Now, therefore, the Jackson County Board of Commissioners this year proclaim, recognize, and honor Julie Spiro Donaldson for her outstanding contributions to Jackson County and proclaim the month of February as Julie Spiro Donaldson Appreciation Month in recognition of her 25 years of dedicated service. Ms. Donaldson, would you like to come up? Is there a motion? Second. Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
None opposed?
I get to have a picture with all
You
of
do?
them?
I know it's not a great. We try to look good, but we fail.
Got my wrap up. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you for your service.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is it complete retirement or just part-time retirement?
I'm still working.
Still working?
I'm still working. I am not a county employee. I am still working.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
All right. Moving on now to the approval of the agenda. Having looked over everything, is there a motion for approval? So moved, Mr. Chairman. One second. All those in favor?
Aye.
None opposed? Going on now to approval of the minutes for our special called meeting, February 2nd, regular meeting, February 6th, and the joint meeting with the Board of Education, February 8th. Is there a motion for those to be approved or amended?
Make a motion to approve the minutes as submitted on the 2nd, 6th, and 8th.
Is there a second? Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
None opposed? Moving on now to the chairman's report. I have nothing to report this evening. Do any other commissioners have anything to report this evening?
I went by and saw Michael Hopkins last week at the aquatics facility. And it's
coming
coming
along.
along. Yeah, it's looking really good. Got some windows in, and as soon as things dry up, he said we're going to get more windows put in, more of the big windows. So, yeah, can't wait to see it.
So, on March 5th, Tuesday, we have a meeting at 6, but we also have our annual meeting twice, which is very informative. And, if you're there, we're going to do the presentation and organizational update at the very beginning. So we will be able to leave the meeting, but it's a good time to ask any questions. And if we want to talk about horse pasture or whatever the case may be.
Okay. That's 4 this year.
No, it's going to be at 5. 4 is the March. I'm sorry. I'm going to have my dates wrong.
I think it's the 4th, and the meeting starts at 4:30.
Yes.
March 4th, there's a meet and greet or something at 4, and then the meeting actually starts at 4:30, I believe.
I think you're right. I'll receive my get word to Miss Manchester to make sure that I got the dates right.
Awesome.
That's That's on the 5th, yes, at 4, yes.
On the 5th.
It's a meet, kind of a meet and greet at 4, and then the actual meeting starts at 3:30. The way I read it.
That's right.
Moving on now to county manager's report. Ms. Fox.
Good afternoon. I'll just go over a couple of projects that we have. The Cashier Splash Pad, Weathers Ravenel are finalizing their drawings. They're working on the utility work. Specifically, they're working on an issue with metering the utilities. And Equinox has assembled a package for the stormwater permitting. The project should be ready for submittal for bid soon. The Domestic Violence Center, we accepted bids on February 15th. They're currently being reviewed by the architect and by the county attorney. They were slightly over budget. I'll bring the bids and the additional funding sources to the board on March 5th. The solid waste transfer station, the debit and credit cards are being accepted at the Silva transfer station. And to date, basically the month of February, they've taken 104 payments already. So it will be beneficial. And the cashier's site will start next week. We're going to train them this Friday. The Whittier Quala Park, Weathers Ravenel has been to the site, surveyed for the utilities for connection, and the bid package should be ready next week. Permitting and code enforcement, I've attached their report for the statistics for 2023. They've issued 2,293 permits, 1,171 in the Silva office and 1,122 in the cashier's office. 189 permits were issued in January of 2024 compared to 181 in January 2023. And the problem we had with the Blue Cross Blue Shield retiree insurance, Blue Cross has addressed the issue. The formulary ID was keyed incorrectly when they did the group setup. So it has negatively impacted some of the group membership when they utilize the pharmacy benefits. They are currently resolving that situation. They apologize for the error, and they'll be working proactively to resolve all the issues. And all the members will be contacted individually, and any copays that were charged in error will be refunded.
That's great.
Then I have the permit and the personnel report attached. Okay, any questions?
Thank you for doing that for the retiree insurance. I've had multiple calls on that and concerns.
Hopefully they'll resolve it shortly.
Hope so, and I'm glad they're, will that be Blue Cross reaching out to each member? or
It will
what?
be Blue Cross.
Okay.
Correcting that mistake. That's awesome. Thank you. Informal comment tonight. We have one person, David Joy.
Can you hear me? Okay. My name's David Joy. I'm from Tuckasegee. I live in Tuckasegee, but I emailed some of you back around November, and I planned on coming in December to the meeting. And then the issue that I wanted to talk with you about stopped me from coming, which is that, you know, I was dealing with a lot of trespassers and a lot of poachers at the time. You know, what I would like to implore the commission to do is to have the county attorney research and hopefully adopt written permission laws, which, you know, over half the counties in the state of North Carolina have written permission laws. And neighboring Transylvania County has written permission laws. But as things currently stand, unless the property is entirely posted, people can go onto that land and do anything they want. You can call the law if you want, but there's nothing they can do. We have a wonderful wildlife officer, Cole Birch, and he was actually kind enough to come tonight in case I stumbled and said something wrong, or in case any of you had any questions. But the lack of law to play you out a scenario. I could drive down 107 South. I could pull on the side of the road on 107 South. I could get out on High Hamptons golf course, and I could set up goose decoys, and I could lay out there with a shotgun, and I'd be within my legal rights to do so until the owner of that property asked me to leave. I think that's insanity. And right now, the only way around that is either to post your property with signs every 200 yards or purple paint every 100 yards. And I personally don't want to live in a world where it looks like a Dr. Seuss book, where painting all of these trees. It's a really simple solution, and it doesn't limit, accessibility. I hunt. I don't have enough land for me to hunt. I just came out of the woods before I came here. That's all I do is hunt and fish. There are property owners who allow me to hunt and fish their property, and they wouldn't have any problem with doing that. I don't lose opportunity by having that, but what that ensures is that I don't wait until Mark posts that he's going on vacation to Myrtle Beach, and then I think, well, man, I'd love to squirrel hunt his place and go up there and start busting squirrels in the yard. And that's kind of, I think, especially when we've reached a place where so many outside interests are buying up chunks of land, having never stepped foot here. We've got places where if I adjoin that land, there are people shooting AR-15s for target practice on land that adjoins me, and there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing he can do about it. There's nothing the sheriff's office can do about it because the land's not posted. And I just think that's a really simple solution. The laws exist. The laws exist in more than 50 counties. The laws exist in Transylvania County. So I'd really just like to see us research that and hopefully adopt written permission laws for hunting and fishing. I would actually like to see it extend to long guns. I think that if you're going to be walking around somebody's, and those laws exist in certain counties, and I think that we can add provisions for bear hunters who are worried I can't go get my dogs. Of course, you can still go get your dogs, but you don't need to come up my yard with a .308 and shoot a bear out of my, they're shooting bears out of people's front yards in my neighborhood. That's what's happening. And I think, allowing him to do his job is something that I'd really like y'all to try and do. Cole also asked me to mention shining laws. He thought that, the county should adopt some shining laws, that he was having problems with that. I can't speak to that because I don't know what issues he's facing with that. But I think it would be worth taking the time to talk with him and see what kind of issues he's facing on a daily basis and how his hands are tied. I brought some of his cards. I didn't know if he was going to be on a call or something and not be able to make it. I can give you cards for him where you can contact him. I'm sure he'd be happy to speak with you as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
CD.
Yeah, thank you. That's all I had to say.
Thank you, David.
Nothing like wanting to do your job and having your hands tied.
Moving on now to our consent agenda and our finance report for January. Ms. Fox.
I'll go over the highlights for the month of January. The general fund revenues collected to date is $59,782,571. That's 67.22% of budget. The expenditures to date is $45,301,311. That's 52.69% of budget. The revenues at this point are $14,481,260 more than the expenditures. The ad valorem taxes collected to date, $42,258,855, which is 96.44% of budget. The motor vehicle taxes collected is $962,885, it's 48.54% of budget. And the prior taxes collected, $260,282, which is 52.05% of budget. We received the sales and use tax distribution in the amount of $1,910,252 for the month of January, which represents October sales. That amount is $68,479, or 3.72% more than the amount received in January 2023. The Article 46 distribution was $218,403, and the average increase for the fiscal year is 0.79%. The landfill disposal fees collected is $2,722,909. That's 89.09% of budget. And the prior landfill disposal fees collected is $40,548, which is 47.7% of budget. Via Health's second quarter finance report for fiscal year 23-24 is attached. They have revenues of $441,379,270, with total expenditures of $452,404,154. They have a net loss less risk reserve of $13,685,182. Their operating cash available is $117,664,066, and their spendable cash is $48,821,947. The growth revenues we're tracking, the planning is a little below their budget at this point. Code enforcement is right on target for the end of the month. Environmental health is down 6.68%, and registered deeds is over 9.34%. The general fund contingency at the end of January, $773,820.57. I'd be glad to answer any questions on the report.
Question, Mr. Chairman. On the motor vehicle tax collected, it looks like it's just slightly down. Would that be because the tag office is closed and the taxes are collected?
It could be.
And then if they go to another county to get their tag,
We get
okay,
the revenue.
good. Thank you.
Some questions from the board? Is there a motion to approve the finance report?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Thank you, Ms. Fox. Moving on now to budget ordinance amendment.
Okay, I have one amendment. It's an increase of $150,000, and it's from Via Health, and it's for the child welfare reinvestment agreement that we signed with them. And the agreement's from October 1st through June 30th of 2024. It'll be used for supplies, unmet health-related needs, foster kinship, parent training, emergency placement needs, assessment and evaluations, and foster kinship parent additional support and permanency planning. This should help some with their foster care too.
Is there a motion to approve the budget ordinance amendment?
So moved.
And a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
None opposed? Moving on now to our tax collector and refund reports. Ms. Henson.
evening. Okay, for the month of January, the current taxes collected were $5,925,231. The delinquent taxes collected were $50,481. The total collection for the month was $6,239,784.98. There were refunds of $4,771.95 and releases of $988.70. And the tax collection rate at the end of the month was 93.88%. Any questions?
Thank you for keeping our tax collection rate up high.
Trying.
Is there, any questions from the board? Is there a motion, to accept the,
So moved.
a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
None opposed. Thank you, Ms. Henson. Moving on now to new business. First up is Mr. Poston with the Agricultural District Ordinance Amendments, and the request for a public hearing.
Good evening, Commissioners. I'll try to be brief. As we spoke about last week, the Agricultural District Ordinance, which contains our voluntary and enhanced voluntary agricultural districts, the state has made some changes to state statutes that require us to make some changes to the ordinance. Most of those changes are very just procedural. They're technical in nature. They don't change the program in of itself. It just changes some of the language and modernizes some of that. I'll be happy to answer any questions, but the request is that the board consider calling for a public hearing on March 19th at 6:25 p.m. for the board to consider those changes and for the public to have a chance to address those.
Is there a motion for, the requested public hearing on March 19th at 6:25?
So moved.
Second? All those in favor?
Aye.
None
Thank you.
opposed?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Moving on now to Cooperative Extension MOA with NC State. Ms. Fox. Yeah, it'll be right before the meeting.
As we talked about in the work session, the memorandum of agreement with NC State University, it's a lock-in agreement on the salaries that we will pay the same percentage that the state gives. And the advantage to this would be that we wouldn't have to come back to the board every time they had a salary increase, that we would just automatically match it at the beginning of the year.
Most of the counties around us already.
Everybody, most of the counties do use this method.
We remain competitive that way.
Is there a motion to adopt the Cooperative Extension MOA?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second?
Second.
Do we need to do a roll call vote on this one,
Yes.
Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Bryson,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones,
Yes.
Commissioner Stribling, Chairman Letson.
Yes. Moving on now to offer to purchase Tyler Davis with resolution 24-02. From Tyler Davis, I'm sorry.
Audit contract.
Oh, I'm sorry. Audit contract with Martin Stearns and Associates, CPA. Sorry.
That's okay. Have the contract to audit the accounts for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2024 with Martin Stearns and Associates CPA out of Hickory. The total amount is $96,800, and then $4,000 for each major program in excess of 2, and the preparation. So the total contract's $120,600, which includes 4 major programs.
Is that comparable to what we did last year?
Yeah, it's up
A little bit.
a little bit.
Inflation.
Yeah. I'd recommend
Auditors as
approval.
well.
Well, state certified.
Yeah. Is there a motion to approve the contract?
So moved.
Second? Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Stribling? Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner Bryson?
Yes.
Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Chairman Letson?
Yes. Now moving on to the offer to purchase from Tyler Davis.
I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of 636 40th and Plum Road, Lot 28, Hampton Springs.
Is there a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Commissioner Bryson?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner Stribling?
Yes.
Chairman Letson?
Yes. And just so everyone is aware, that property's been vacant how long?
12 years. Yes. The tax administrator did go up and look at the property last week. If she's got some pictures, if you want to see those.
I went up as well.
Okay.
I think we're doing all right.
Yeah, it is. Okay, we'll go ahead and publish.
So moving on now, Equalization and Review Board, we've got 5 up for consideration and the chair. Let's see.
These need to,
They've all been recommended for approval. So Richard Robeson is the chair, Robert Edwards is the vice chair, Roger Bartlett is on the board, David Nolan, and Norman West.
they're already currently.
They're already currently members of the board. So is there a motion for, these are 1-year terms, for approval of these 5 individuals?
These 5 bring a lot of knowledge to the Equalization Review Board, and I'd make a motion to accept all 5.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Stribling?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner Bryson?
Yes.
Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Chairman Letson?
Yes. We're going to not have planning board up tonight. Is there a motion to table this until March?
Motion to table.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
None opposed. All right. Do we have any questions from the press tonight? No questions. Just a few announcements. We have our regular work session, regular meeting March 5th at 6. Our work session is March 12th at 1. Our regular meeting again, March 19th at 6:30 p.m. With no further business, is there a motion for adjournment?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
A second? All those in favor?
Aye.
None opposed. We are adjourned.